Welcome to the Healthcare Technology Report, a leading information source on healthcare technology companies and solutions. Today, we speak with Mike Prytkov, co-founder and CEO of Simple, a digital health company helping millions of people achieve long-term weight loss and healthier eating habits. Mike is an experienced leader in scaling mobile-first health platforms, and under his leadership, Simple has grown from an intermittent fasting tool into a comprehensive app that combines science-based guidance with AI coaching. The app now supports more than 17 million users worldwide, credited with over 13 million pounds lost and more than 350,000 five-star reviews. With its AI coach, Avo, Simple delivers daily plans, personalized prompts, and real-time support to help users build sustainable habits. I'm your host, RJ Lumba. We hope you enjoy the show. If you like the episode, click to follow. Mike, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today. It's a delight to be with you.
Thanks for having me.
So we have a lot to cover. You run a really interesting company, something relevant to probably everyone on the planet. But first off, you're based in Cyprus.
Right.
We don't typically talk to companies, tech companies in particular, out of Cyprus. So tell us a little bit about the tech community there.
It's amazing tech community. I first actually got familiar with Cyprus around, I would say, 8 years ago when I moved to my previous company there. And it's a small island. Everybody knows each other, and the community is very friendly and helpful. So it's really good to be there. And the Cyprus government is doing a lot of things to help the community and tech grow on the island, which is really cool. And the weather is nice,
Yeah.
which is great, actually, especially for the kids. When I first moved there, my son was just a year old. So he was growing on Cyprus, and then my daughter was growing on Cyprus as well. So really, really great place.
Fantastic. Now, switching over into the app. So let's tell folks what Simple does. And to set the context, you've got a lot of users.
Yeah, right. We've got more than 20 million of installs. Yeah, so a lot of users and a lot of history for the past six years. And at Simple, we effectively give people a weight loss plan that they can actually follow. When we first started, we frame these ideas having the best coach around you that would help you with your weight loss and how it goes. And back those days when we started, we don't see any companies who are in the nutritional and dieting space who are actually focusing on the personalization and making the program very specific for each individual. So we thought that this is the right thing to do. And with that idea, started working on Simple.
So there's a myriad of solutions out there regarding health, particularly dieting. It could be a consumer product. It could be an app. It takes many forms. It could be simple YouTube channels. And you found that there wasn't a solution that was able to really customize according to the person. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Because if you think about this, there is the accessibility problem. So yeah, some people would be able to afford themselves to get with the best coaches, best health advisors. But in reality, majority is not in that place. And they need something that would give them their solution on the high level and would understand their each individual life circumstances, preferences, etc., and would be able to help them sustainably. You will not get it from the one YouTube video or one book you read. So you need a kind of a holistic approach that will help from the different perspectives. So that's why we built what we are building. We build it in a way which is simple. That's why it's called Simple. And we are given it with a holistic approach.
So with these over 20 million installs, I imagine there's some variation on continued usage. A percentage of those just drop off, just as you would a normal diet. People have a hard time sticking to a diet. But maybe could you shed some light on how many people actually stay with the app and continue using it all the way through to effective, sustained outcomes?
We've run a study specifically on that matter of what the results of people who use Simple for a long period of time, and the results are quite amazing. I can share you the one that which I just got today. It's article published in the Women's World magazine, the news about this. And the lady, Karen, she lost 176 pounds within a year using Simple. And she specifically was focused on the intermittent fasting part of the product. And this worked really, really well for her. And she's extremely happy. For us, this is important because we are incorporating multiple areas in one product. So we're combining intermittent fasting, dieting, and exercises, and all of that in a combination with the help of our coach. So a lot of people are using the product daily. And we have recently introduced streaks into the product around a year ago, and we already have users for more than 365 days of daily streaks. So things are going well.
So the gamification helps. I know my kids use Snap and they want to keep their streaks going. So
yeah,
every day it's like a touch point with the app.
Yeah, I think about this in that parallel. So if we think about their work versus results or impact. So if you think about the calorie counters, you need to put a lot of work into it. So you need to precisely log everything. And then the results, it depends. But we want to build it as simple as possible, as frictionless as possible, and literally to make it similar to a game, to make it fun and engaging. Because games are engaging. Dieting is not really engaging. We all know that. It's hard. And for someone, it's really, really hard work they need to do. And all the people have their normal lives. They have kids, they have families, they have work. And when we're asking them, like, you need to contribute the time to some apps, that's hard. So we need to make them feel that it's motivating, that is engaging, and this is like a game. I think the good example of what Duolingo done in language learning, I think we are sort of thinking in the same direction right now.
Is there any overlap with your users also taking a weight loss drug such as Ozempic?
Definitely. The recent study says that almost 15% of people who are dieting in the States tried the GLP-1s drugs. So it's a huge number of people. And it's very helpful, especially with the obesity, which is really good. What everybody already knows, that this is not a long-term solution. So whether people are on the drugs for the rest of their lives, or they're actually on drugs helping them to kick off this first process, and then they're actually trying to change their behavior around the food. And definitely when they don't want to eat that much and they are having like normal satiety levels, it's easier to change behavior. So people are using drugs together with Simple, and we are actually working on the programs to help people to make it more effective and efficient, to introduce more focus on the exercises, more focus on the protein to keep their muscles intact. So all of those things. Yeah, so it's good progress in the market.
Referring back to the installs and the sheer volume of it, are these consumers or these users I assume they're across the world. I'm curious your exposure in the US and Western Europe.
Majorly, our users are coming from the States. So our sweet spot is women over 40. In the States, around 70% of our users are coming from the States now, and the rest are from the other English-speaking countries or Europe.
And how have you been able to gain so many users? Is it effective marketing? Is it simplicity, no pun intended, I guess, of the app? What do you attribute that uptake to?
I guess it's both, because we named like this for a reason, and we think that this is sort of our mission to make the experience simple and to make the weight loss and the journey to health simple, because right now it's not for a lot of people. So we are helping with it. And it resonates with the audience because a lot of people tried numerous of different solutions. They're trying one thing, another, keto, Mediterranean, fasting, they're trying everything. But the reality is that people need something very specific for them. We are different. We have different triggers. We have different life circumstances. We have different amount of time that we are able to dedicate towards this goal. So this is the one thing. The other thing is marketing, where we are doing performance marketing. So a lot of people are seeing our advertising across different platforms. And we're quite efficient there as well.
What is the most, you think, helpful part to the solution? We mentioned intermittent fasting. Is that the first thing you would try? Say it's a 16-8 type of fasting calculation, 18-6. Like, what do you first go to?
Yeah, we started with intermittent fasting, and 6 years ago, it was huge growth of the trend of intermittent fasting. And we wanted to learn like how we actually can help people with weight loss goals, and we want to better understand the problem and to give them a better solution. So intermittent fasting was the kind of a first step for us. So the product incorporates this still, but we learned that it doesn't work for everyone. So we need to incorporate different aspects of life. So then we add nutritional part, then we add water intake, which is super important as well, what people are actually drinking. And we add exercises, and we add different exercises. So there might be some very low impact exercises like workouts on the chair, for example. It's very good for a lot of people, or walking, for example. But then we have a whole workouts with some weights as well. And we are kind of building a plan that incorporates this based on user specific needs. So we started with the fasting. It works really well. Till now, it works really well. But this is the part of the bigger program.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, with a kind of a B2C app, as you're building the company, I mean, you could get an MVP out there with, somewhat minimal investment. You could find a really savvy developer and get this up and running, and then kind of iterate and maybe pour in more capital as you go. So I'd be curious to hear about how you've gone about scaling and building the company. Did you take that approach of being very maybe efficient and resourceful in the beginning? I think you have brought in capital and how you use that capital. So maybe if you could just tell us a little bit about building this company up to where it is today.
Sure. A little bit more context around this question. Previously, I had my background in marketing. And before I built a tech business, which I sold before starting Simple. And this gave me a lot of understanding of data, of the fast iterations, and how actually to move fast, and how actually to build things and iterate with them and figure out what the right solution would be. Our first main investor, Palta, they're also co-founders of the Flow Health, which recently had a 1 billion valuation, biggest women health product. So I think it was impactful, especially for me and for the business, to have someone close who is ahead of you to learn from. And I learned a lot of product sense and how to actually build something very impactful for customers. So I think combining both of those gives a good combination of speed and the product sense, help to iterate faster and get this product market fit. I think the greatest challenge in our business is actually several things. That are distribution, because there's a lot of companies on the market, definitely. And the other thing is user experience, because how to practice user experience when you want that people would actually track something to give them insights, to give them program, to give them everything, and then not to overcomplicate things. This is really challenging. This is the critical parts of the business. So as I mentioned, we try to, at the beginning, to start small. tried to build like, okay, we start with intermittent fasting, we'll figure out how it works, we'll figure out the problem, figure out the right solution, and then iterate adding other things into the product. And I think this approach was quite efficient for us. We got only maybe 10 million of equity investments. And with that, last year, we end up with more than 100 million of revenue. So by the current market valuation, that's quite a great efficiency on the capital.
Excellent. And are you close to breaking even, profitable?
We are profitable already for the second year.
Excellent. I guess one question as we head into the tail end of the conversation is, given that this is your second time, building a company, what do you pay most attention to when you're assembling your team? Or is there something you look for in your candidates that you're recruiting? And also, are you distributed or in person?
Our main office right now at Cyprus, so we have a full business is around 180 people. 70 is at Cyprus, and we have like a dozen people in London. We have a few people in Canada, in the States, and others are spread across different offices in Europe. And I think what is the most important for me is definitely culture and the idea that we are building business that would be working long term for the case. So we're not trying to build something that will work right now and then we don't know. But for that, I expect people to be consistent, to be able to consistently deliver results, and to have sort of a long-term vision. I'm really proud that a lot of people with whom we started more than 5 years ago are still there. Mm-hmm. So it's like maybe 80% of everyone who we started with are still with us. Mm-hmm. So I think this is the great achievement for us. And this is the kind of long-term vision and long-term culture that we are trying to build.
Excellent. Last two questions. One is, can you tell us about a person who has had a profound influence on you?
I think that I would say that this is my lovely wife, who I've married for more than 12 years already. And I think what is critical here that she gave me a leadership example of quietly operating our family. And I think that leadership in that sense is a service. And my service is to be there for people who are using Simple and definitely for the team.
Excellent. Last question. Can you tell us about a charity cause or other endeavor that you're passionate about?
I think for us, definitely on building Simple, the most important thing is to make health and weight loss accessible for everyone. So it would not be tied to the zip codes or income or anything. So everyone would be able to benefit from it, and everyone would be able to improve their health towards their goals of whatever, having more energy or better sleep or just be proud of themselves. It doesn't really matter. The matter is that their health better and their life would be better. So this is the most important.
Mike, thank you so much again for taking the time to chat with us today. It's been a wonderful conversation.
Thanks. Thank you.